So we have a developer zone, SDN networking developer zone. It's software.intel.com/networking. Many of the things that we talk about in our meetups and a lot of the open source technologies that Intel works on, there are articles on those. Then we do live trainings, live developer trainings through the meetup, which one of it you are part of right now. And we also have a program called Intel Software Innovator Program. So from this developer community, if we select the developers that we want to support, who are working on projects that Intel feels that they need that support. So we support them in terms of any infrastructure that they need to work on their projects, any kind of information or engineering support, and there's some kind of stipend support, and there are marketing opportunities, like we have conferences where they can go and talk as Intel software innovators. Yeah. So, and there is a open forum for developers called Developer Mash, where people can post projects and see what everyone is doing and comment on their projects, follow the projects, etc. I don't know if Dharani is here now. No? Okay. Yeah, so he's the so once in a quarter we do what we called is developer labs. So we have deep dive hands-on trainings, and we invite developers to come and propose projects based on whatever training they just received. And the challenge is open for 3 months until the next developer lab. And so before the next developer lab, they pitch their projects, and we judge these, and they get these prizes. So incidentally, for last 2 developer labs, Dharani has been the winner. So our first lab was in December, and we gave away the prize in March. And then we had the second challenge in March, and we gave away the prize in June. Whenever, probably in the break or maybe later, we will introduce you to him. So right now, the challenge for the June Developer Lab is still open. Last date for submission is 15 September, and here are the other important dates. So these are the prizes. So first prize is Apple iPad plus DPDK in a box kit. Then second prize is Intel NUC plus DPDK in a box, and third prize is DPDK in a box kit. We are still looking for talks and demos for our next Dev Lab, which is in September. Sorry, there's a typo there. It should be September Dev Lab. That's my mistake. So these are the 4 labs which is happening: OpenStack EPA, OpenStack Daylight, Courier with Open Daylight, and YANFF. Probably no one has heard about it because it's a new project that is being developed. It's a new model for cloud network function development. So the coding of a VNF will be greatly reduced by this project. So if you're interested in any of these, just attending the labs, please come. And the topics for other sessions and demos that you can propose could be related to Open Daylight, OPNFV, or EPC. In December, we're going to do something different. It's going to be a VNF Plug Fest. So this is basically for people working on VNFs. So if you're working on a VNF and you feel that you need to learn more about it, to optimize, to work on x86 based platforms, we'll be holding a series of tutorials. You can participate in the tutorial and then participate in the Plug Fest, or you can directly participate in the Plug Fest. So we're looking for both. If you want to participate, if you have interesting topics or if you wish list that you would like to learn about, please find me in the breaks and I will be happy to hear from you. So we are going to talk about how network is being transformed for 5G, right? Like why Intel cares about 5G and what are we doing to get ready for this transformation. Yeah, legal notice. So maybe you would have seen different variations of this slide. You know, there's going to be data explosion. So here it is 2 zettabyte global data traffic annually by 2019. And this is from an estimate by CISCO Virtual Networking Index in 2015. So the question is, where is this data explosion coming from? So this basically is coming from a paradigm shift which is going to happen in 5G. Where is the data traffic coming from in the networks of today? Question to you.
Cell phone.
Sorry?
Cell phone.
Cell phone, yeah. What kind of things you do in cell phone which creates traffic? Yeah. Video? Huh? Games, yes. Social media, that's right. And some kind of AR, VR, augmented reality, but it's not exploding yet. But that's what is expected that will explode in 5G. And in addition to that, what we are expecting is that data from machine to machine is going to be much more than human-generated traffic, right? So use cases like smart cities. Anybody heard of this term before? Smart cities? Yeah, I see some. So smart cities, autonomous driving, IoT, industrial automation, right? So these are some examples which are going to cause explosions, right? And also, there's going to be consolidation of technology, right? So right now, there is voice, video, but we are going to go predominantly IP in 5G. We want to go, everything will go on data, right? So what that does is that you are dealing with different type of hardware, right? You don't know what hardware is hooking to your network. And there are different type of requirements for each of those devices, for each of these use cases. So for example, if you take massive IoT for use cases like smart building, agricultural use cases, it has to be low cost, low energy, low data volumes, but when you sum everything up, it is massive data, right? But when you talk about use cases like autonomous driving or industrial automation or remote healthcare, it's critical IoT. So you're talking about low latency, high bandwidth applications, right? So that means that your network, the same network, has to cater to different use cases and it has to have different service level agreement, right? So in one case you have low latency, high bandwidth. In other case you have massive, but latency is not that critical. It has to be low cost, right? So how do you deal with such things? So you do things like network slicing, right? You do things like traffic engineering, and that's where virtualization is the key to this. So that's why NFV and SDN is the foundation, network function virtualization and software defined networking. So if you divide the network into core, access and edge, today we are going to talk about some examples of the technology that we are working at Intel. So we'll be talking about mobile edge computing. Anybody heard of that? In the access? In the edge. And then we'll be talking about FlexRAN in the access. And in the core, we'll be talking about VPP/FIDO. So this is just to give you an idea of what Intel is doing. So Intel is already collaborating with the partners to work on x86 based solutions. So we are ready for 5G when it actually arrives. So agenda for the day,